All right, it's essentially early spring, and I got speckled trout on the brain. Let's see if we can catch some. So as you can tell, it's super foggy this morning. Despite this wind, we've got about a 10 or 12 knot south wind. Hopefully it's gonna blow this fog off. It's supposed to be cloudy all day. That would be fine with me. And really, now that I'm on site, the fog is fine. It's just really heavy. Everything in this boat is wet, including me. I made a run to a shoreline where I had some success in the fall. Unfortunately, the water doesn't look all that great here. It's definitely chalked up. Thought it'd be better, and it probably would be better on a falling tide, but I'm here at the beginning of the rise. I do like a rising tide, particularly throwing these topwater baits. This, by the way, is a matrix mullet. Not sure I'm gonna stick with this in this kind of stained water, but definitely gonna give it a few casts. Hearing some bait pop, that's good. Got some mullet in the area. Man, just a copious amount of bait here. Really, really good sign. Copious amount of wind as well. It is breezy. Mullet. That looks like a good eater mullet. Going for a trout to munch on. Oh, goodness, you saw that. I saw that fish. He was a giant. He missed the bait. That was a very big speckled trout. Saw him plain as day. Shoot. Oh, how'd you miss it? He hit it like he wanted it. He wasn't just tail slapping it. Good night. Well, it's an encouraging sign, that's for sure. That'll stop your heart. Don't come and do this. You got heart problems. Man, particularly when they hit that close to the boat. Check this drag, it's pretty tight. Glad I thought of that. Oh, another hit. That was a less committed hit. That was more like a tail slap. Knocked the bait out the water. Water temp in here, by the way, is 68 degrees. That's, love that water temp. For the topwater baits, we've had several warm nights in a row here in South Louisiana. Thus the fog. Oh goodness, another beautiful blow up. I felt him. Man, 3 blow ups. 2 really good blow ups. And 1 tail slap, and I don't have a fish. Oh, I missed another one. You've got to be kidding me. That seemed like a redfish hit, but man, what is up with this? I got to change this bait. I mean, these are commitments. I mean, these hooks are super sharp. I can't blame the hooks. Guess I'll stick with it. A few more casts, but if I miss another one, I'm changing this bait. Okay, that was a tail slap. That doesn't count. Another tail slap. Another ferocious hit. That also seemed like a redfish. Well, I said I was going to change it. I guess I lied. That'd definitely be the smart decision. Another hit. There he is. There he is. Connected on that one. I think that's a red. I think that's a redfish. Yep, that's a red. That's not a trout. I'm starting to have some doubts. I'm starting to think he might be a trout. If he is, he's big. If he is, he's a big one. Or he's a red, he just doesn't know he's really hooked yet. All right, now I'm thinking red. Yep, now I'm thinking red. Okay. It's nice to have a red, I'll tell you what. It's been a while since I've caught a redfish. It's been literally months. Oh yeah, big red fish. So cool, so cool. He's a definite netter. Man, I'm hearing all kind of fish pop. I'm ready to make another cast. Ooh, look at that. His mouth is forced open by this bait. All right, buddy. You'll be swimming again in a minute without this bait in your mouth. Just relax. Just relax. Just relax. All right. Yeah, that's a definite bull. He's over 27. I'm gonna say probably pushing 30. All right, let's get this guy back. Whoa, he's feisty. He's probably gonna swim off pretty easily. Get him back in the water. Go ahead. Go ahead, swim off. There you go. All right. All right, that was a connection. Not a speckled trout, but really fun fight. Nice to catch a red after all these months. Oh, that trout jumped all the way out the water. Another one? Oh, he knocked it all the way out. Look at that. See, those to me are hits where the fish is just playing with the bait. It's just furious at it because it's acting so stupid. It's not necessarily a feeding strike. I don't know if it's the same trout or not, but he came out the water twice. I mean, a foot out the water. Sooner or later, one of these trout's gonna make a mistake. Definitely a horrendous hookup ratio. There's one. That's a trout. And look at the one we connect on. Look at this. I do want to keep a few fish today, but I don't think, yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy's not even 12 inches. Let's check. We're going to measure him. He's super close, but I'm not going to keep him. Ah, come on, dude. He was 11 7/8 at least. Hopefully we can run across some 12 1/8. Those are my favorite ones. Well, hopefully we can run across some 26s. That would be really nice. But those would not go in the box. Goodness. Goodness. These are stupid hits. Fish just acting stupid. Not really one to eat. I've had some definitely where fish are eating, but a hit like that, when a fish erupts 2 feet above the surface of the water, bait goes flying, you just want to kill it. Well, that's a keeper. Gotta reel down to him so I don't get a hook in the eye. Oh, all right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go. About a 14-inch fish, just a real good eater. That's the size I like to take home. Hit me real close to the boat. All right, look how wet everything is. This boat is soaked. So important to wear eye protection when you're throwing these treble hook baits. But man, my sunglasses would make it impossible to see this lure. Having trouble seeing it as it is. So I'm just reeling down to the bait before I flip those fish in. Admittedly not ideal, but kind of the best option available to me at the moment. I don't know how much you can see, but there's grass all around where I'm fishing. Just kind of sparse, sporadic grass. It's my favorite situation for throwing these topwater baits. The grass is such a key ingredient. The 3 ingredients I look for are that kind of sporadic grass, mullet, and clean water. Definitely don't have clean water. It's not horrible, but it's not as good as I would like. But apparently it's good enough to hold some fish. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, when I finish this drift, I'm gonna make a bait change. It's kind of one of those things, you know, I'm getting a ton of bites on this. Maybe the next bait won't get as many bites. Maybe it won't get any bites. So you kind of hate to change, but maybe they'll be more committed to it than they are to this one. You just never know day to day. You just never know. Last time I threw this bait, it was definitely the hot bait. The good news is we're at the beginning of this rising tide, so these fish should bite for a few more hours. I mean, obviously you never really know, but I don't see him getting off. Oh goodness, he knocked it a mile in the air. That was a big trout. He came back again. He knocked it a mile in the air. So I can't tell you how important stealthiness is when you come and do this. If you're the type of guy who talks loudly in a boat, slams tackle boxes down onto the deck of the boat, you're probably not gonna have great success, particularly with bigger fish. You know, I'm fishing 2 feet of water right here, and that sound travels forever, even the sound of your voice. That's why I'm kind of talking in hushed tones. You gotta be as quiet as possible. I use my trolling motor minimally, try and position myself so the wind will push me where I wanna go. Now you can really see that sporadic grass. It's about perfect. All right, I went ahead and bit the bullet, made a change to this other matrix mullet. This one is all beat to hell, as you can tell. But I love topwater baits when they look like that. They really well mimic a wounded mullet. If you've ever seen a school of mullet, you see a few in the pack that look like this, that have been hit by garfish or other trout. Those are the ones the fish key on. Oh goodness. Such a good hit, and I missed him. Felt him as well. Man, bad luck today. Ooh, well, different bait, same problem. They're just knocking it out the water. One of those days, just happens sometimes. A spot lock here a minute. It's 2 bites pretty quickly. Just fan cast around, see if we can get a connection. Oh goodness, how'd you miss the bait? Just an absolute giant speckled trout. Oh goodness. They're definitely, I don't know. They're having trouble zeroing in or what, I don't know. I mean, that was a beautiful fish. It came all the way out the water again. Make a few casts with this matrix rip shad just to see if I get a little bit better commitment. Hard to put down on top water when they're hitting it, but I like catching them on jerk baits too. Ooh, there's a fish. There's a fish. That's a nice one. All right, definite keeper. Not a big fish, but it's nice to get a connection. And he's big enough to keep, so these are the size I like to keep. All right. Oh, that one didn't miss it. Oh, that's a good trout. That's a good trout. Hopefully he stays connected. Well, he ain't that good. He had some guns to start, but kind of gave up. 14-inch fish, not bad, not bad. He's a boxer. All right. Oh, your buddies missed the bait, but you didn't. I'm just sitting here on spot lock. I found a few fish out here, getting hit on almost every cast. Oh man, I got smoked there. Goodness. They're just missing it. Just not getting the hooks. Hard to believe that many fish can hit that hard and not get hooked. There he is. There he is. Another solid keeper. All right. 14, maybe 15-inch fish. He's kind of long and skinny. All right. And he didn't have that bait well either. These are all those fish that were hitting that top water and missing it. Oh, there's one. There's one. It's every cast now. That's a good trout. Fortunately, I got a boat coming up. They're gonna, a bunch of kids making a lot of racket. They're gonna go right up on my fish. Right as we found them and got them turned on. That's a good trout. Yeah, dude. You got too close to those hooks. Sucks to be you. Oh, good hit. Missed him. Oh, another hit. Man, they're smashing this bait. So this rip shad's a really good bait to throw when the fish are hitting topwater baits like they are today, but just not committing. Oh, goodness. That feels like a pretty good fish. Oh, my rip shad. Oh, goodness. That is the trout of the day right there. Ooh, that's a nice fish. He smacked this thing. I don't want to horse him. Ooh, I felt something slip. That's a good trout. Oh, yeah, he's not that big. He's a good fish, believe me. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, he's a good fish. Real good fish. All right, look at this. I saw several of this size explode on the topwater bait, but they just couldn't get it for whatever reason. It's a 19-inch fish, really, really nice. There he goes. All right. Man, I love catching trout that size. He's 19 inches, not like crazy, crazy big, but it's so fun on these jerk baits when they just stop the bait and you know it's a nice fish. When you've been catching 12 to 14-inch fish and you catch a 19-incher, he feels like a trophy. Feels like you want to call a taxidermist. The way I work this bait is just kind of rhythmic twitches. 1 or 2 twitches, let the bait kind of float back up. They usually hit it on that pause. Pause is so important. And you can see this rip shad is all beat up, missing an eye, got all kind of hook rash on it. That's the way I like it. Love them like that. Also, I got braid in place of the split rings. Talked about that in a previous video. That's to help keep those fish buttoned up when they do hit. Definitely effective. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good hit anyway. Ooh, yeah, he's got an opinion. I don't think he's 19 inches, but he's a nice fish. All right. About a 15-incher. Yeah, he's 15 inches. He's a little bit bigger than I like to keep, so I'm gonna let this guy go. Oh, goodness, another smoke. Oh, that's a good trout. Yeah, it's a good, oh yeah, it's a good trout. It's like maybe another 19, I don't know. He's surfing in, so maybe not. Bigger than I'm gonna keep, that's for sure. Oh yeah, he's about a 17, 18-incher. Yeah, real good trout. Real good fish. Whew. Boy, is that beautiful. That's just beautiful. I love seeing these early spring speckled trout. So feisty. All right, dude, there you go. Man, what an absolute blast when you just sit on spot lock and throw hard plastics. It doesn't get much better than that. What a great morning. I almost didn't come fishing today because there's not much tide. As I mentioned, we are at the beginning of the rise, but it's only 4/10 range today. But you know, this south wind definitely helping that water come in a little better than the moon. All right, if this weather stays like this hard plastic bite is just now getting started. Really, when the weather's right, February and March are my favorite months to do this. And a lot of times, not a lot of times, but frequently, or at least occasionally, let's say that, when you're throwing those topwater baits, sometimes those fish just knock it out the water. They hit it and miss it just repeatedly. I don't know how many blow-ups I got today, a whole bunch. Very, very low connection rate. Switched to the Matrix Rip Shad and my connections went way up, obviously. Always gotta bring a jerkbait along when you go on a topwater trip. So often you have to resort to that, and let's face it, that's still a very, very fun way to catch them. And you catch some beautiful fish throwing jerkbaits. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marshman Masson channel on YouTube if you haven't yet. And if you wouldn't mind, share the video with somebody you think would also like it. And until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh, we'll see you right here on Marshman Masson. Odds are we'll be throwing some hard plastics.